Hey, welcome back, or welcome me back. I don't know. Did you go somewhere? Maybe you did. Oh, I know I should be doing something. I should be working right now. But, I beat you here. So I had a few minutes and, you know, my long weekend was no vacation. Let me just tell you that. So I am a little low on energy. So, I know you probably have limitless energy just for everything that you do, but I'm not. I'm not a robot. I'll I got to recharge. I'm a robot with a battery. Clearly, I have not had my brain juice this morning. I am excited to be here, though. Always good to be back in the shop. Um, Always just a privilege to be working on these cars. Um, because of the long weekend, it's another short week, and I'm not going to get to Mr.E this weekend. I know it says in the title, Mr.E. I kind of got stuck on that because I was working on him all of the time, and then small projects and other things, but this Roadrunner has kind of taken over, and it should be called Roadrunner and Mr.E, but it's, I don't know, I just didn't do that. Okay, talk to the title people. Okay, it's the title people. I'm not in charge of the titles. I just make them up. So, all right, grab yourself a cup of coffee. Let's just sit and chat for a minute. Actually 30 seconds, however long it takes to drink a cup of coffee. I'll probably jump on the transmission right away this morning, put that bearing retainer back on with the seal installed correctly, because that's what we do here at Cars Are People Too. We install seals correctly. We also reinstall seals correctly. So, just in case the first time wasn't correctly enough. And then I'll probably start working on some weather stripping. I've got a full day. I've got a lot of other things going on too, but we're gonna just kind of roll into the throttle this morning. And, by the time we get into the day, we'll be wide open. But we're just idling right now. We're just idling with our brain juice. So anyway, what are you waiting for? Get yourself a cup, sit down. I'm not making it for you. It's a machine. You just press the button. It's a machine. It just does the thing. You don't even have to grind the beans. Nothing. So, and then let's get to it. I'm super glad you came back, and we'll see what happens here, as per usual. Hey, well, here we are. It's Roadrunner extravaganza time. So, more problems. I'm not ragging on the Roadrunner. It's a great car, love them. I'm not even ragging on this particular Roadrunner. This is just old car life. And I had all the window stuff out here, so I just figured, hey, let me, replace this door handle. The customer brought it to me, super easy. And no, it's not. It should be, but, well, stick your peepers over here in the door. Come on over here, I'll get the light for you. And you come over here, wherever I put the light. Where'd I put the light? Do you see where I laid it? I don't know. There's this one. Oh. It's in the door. Come on, come over here. Let me show you. Okay, so if you notice, well, I'm trying to get my light. Got a little sound deadening stuff in here. Okay, right there, let's see if I can get my hand in here to show you. Right here, oh, come on, sound it. What's going on here? Okay, there you go. Right here, this is supposed to be I don't know, like a ball or something. What it appears, if I can get your eyes closer, is that someone has welded, there you go. I don't know, it looks like a welded it on there or something. So this here is what it is supposed to look like. That little ball on there pops through there. Well, that doesn't look like that. So I'm gonna have to cut that one out. And it's okay. I kind of half expected to have more troubles. So when I took the door apart, to replace the window felt, which isn't in yet, to replace these seals, this seal, this door seal here, and the quarter window seals, which I haven't done that yet on this door. I did on, obviously we did it on the other door. Well, when the customer first dropped off the car, he closed the door and something like rattled in there. So, well, when I get the door opened up, I'll check, see what it is. Well, what it was the rear window guide, that sits in there, little bolt on the bottom. The reason why it did that, if I can get my camera guy to do this, while my other hand is doing the other thing. So these are supposed to be, of one piece. They are not supposed to be two pieces. So I am going to, I would think this is a 69, B body. All of these things would be readily available for purchase. Apparently not. I'm having difficulty, I was able to find the felt that goes inside of here. What was in there, I have a picture of it somewhere, maybe I'll show it to you. It was stuffed with duct tape and cardboard. Clearly someone's been in here before trying to keep it from rattling. I peeled the duct tape away. You can see a little bit of the residue of it there. I am going to, my plan is to drill out those two tabs and then also here, drill these out and use a countersunk machine screw or machine whatever, end nut, you know, words, in other words, to fasten this to here, and that'll keep the clearances okay so the window won't touch them and it'll be good. I could weld it, but if you look over here, someone already tried to weld this. Well, that didn't go very well for them. It's attached, let's put it that way, but I'm gonna have to grind some of this off because it's pretty, I don't know, sticky outy. I don't want it to be scratching stuff. It almost did on the way out because I didn't know, you know. Then I saw and was able to prevent it. But anyway, someone cut this away a little bit. They were having trouble, I think, putting the quarter window in, and well, all of that's unnecessary, but it's okay. Let's take a deep breath. It's fine. It'll all go in. Nobody's going to know the difference. Everything's going to function properly. Not a big deal. I just would not have done that. So whatever. Yeah, and there's a window. This is the stop that prevents the window from going up too far, and I'll replace this because it's broken as well. So it makes sense. The driver's window, the driver's door is the most used door on the car, and so that these things are more worn out than the other side, which was fine. Sure, that makes sense. So I've got those parts ordered. I have to fix this, but I've got, oh yeah, this was the other thing. The front, this kind of clips onto the window with these little retainers. And this is what slides in here. So you can see that channel is that shape. And this is, well, it's not that. It's not, what is going on here? I think it's just a little worn out. So anyway, that slides up in there, you know, lets the window slide and not rattle. But, you know, it's seen a couple years, so I've got that ordered as well. Anyway, so we're on a standstill on this till I get those parts in, which is why I jumped on the door handle, and we're not on a standstill, but it's going to take longer to do. And yeah, we'll just keep on keeping on. I just figured I would get you up to date on what's happening over here on the Roadrunner. So what else? Nothing else. That's it. I'm going to work on getting that door handle disconnected out of the car, get the new one in, I hope. Part of me is thinking once I get the old one out, the new one's not going to go in quite properly because somebody goobered it up, and I may have to buy another little, you know, thing. That'll be okay because it will be working properly with the new door handle. It just is what it is. So, yeah, I'm going to get as far as I can with this and then get this car back up on the lift. Changed my mind just as I was talking. Did you see that? Hope you didn't get whiplash from it, but wow. No, I'm going to install, well, it's down here on the ground. I'm going to install the master cylinder, and I got the little plate here. It's plastic. I will have to modify it some to line up the holes, but the rubber boot fits properly. It's going to cover up that bigger hole, and really that's what its purpose is. It's what I could find because nothing was made specifically, but I will modify it, and it will, you know, when I'm done, it'll look like it was meant to be. So, yeah, we'll keep going as far as I can on this, and then we'll jump back on the brakes, so to speak, but we won't be stopping. We'll be going on the brakes, and then we can get it back up, get that transmission in. So I don't know what you're standing around for. Let's get busy. Okay. Oh, it's almost happy hour, but not quite. So just hang in there. I forgot to tell you that you saw me unloading Ella here from the paintwork. I don't know if you remember, I guess it was last week where I showed you kind of the paint issues that I was having. So it just came back from paint, and I just figured I'd take a minute. I mean, it's just paint, it's black. But what was happening, and I still have the trim to put on here, and I'm probably going to seal this a little bit. What was happening is moisture was getting up under here, and thankfully this is still down. But then it was also running under the paint. So it ended up, right before I bought it, it ended up sitting outside, and it snowed and froze. I'm pretty sure what was happening with all of the things is there's moisture under there, and when it froze, it popped the paint up. So this car's been painted 12 times. I don't know, the painter said it was a lot of times. This is very thick. Let's just put it that way. Really what you should do is take a car all the way down, you know, to its base coat before you paint it. But apparently in its life, someone just always wanted a fresh paint job. So they just kept layering black on black on black, and that's what can happen when you do that. You get moisture. So I'm going to protect that from happening, so we won't have that issue again. Get that trim piece put on. But I mean, obviously it looks amazing. So I'll take it to, I've got a guy that buffs paint, and he will do the final like blend in between my new paint and old paint, you know, so you won't notice the difference. Like you can see on the hood here where somebody was, well, trying to buff it or something, and all they did was put little micro scratches in it. But things like that will go away when it's buffed. The other place it was painted was on the hood on this side. So he stopped right here on this edge and stopped here. But I had a missing piece right here. So all of the, I think I had was it on this side or the other side? There was a missing, anyway, blemish. So basically from that trim piece, the door, back, the trunk, over the top there, and the same on the other side, that was repainted to fix that, and then just that side of the hood. So once this car gets buffed out, you won't even know it, and it'll look amazing. It already looks amazing, but yeah. So yeah, you know what's next on the list on this car. So I'm waiting to hear back from my engine guy. And once I hear back from him, a thumbs up, hopefully a 2 thumbs up, that he can get to it and get the parts and all that stuff, I will yank this puppy out and take it to him. So that's the update. Sorry, I thought I was done with the update, and then I remembered I had more updates. So I apologize. There's a lot of updating happening. So. All right, it's probably happy hour now, all this updating that's happening. No, it's not. Get back to work. And now for a word from our sponsor. This episode today is brought to you by difficulty. Is life too easy? Are projects going just a little bit too smoothly? Well, let us help you with our program that introduces difficulty into every situation. For instance, it's not onerous. You know, difficulty doesn't have to be this big thing. It just sometimes is the little thing that turns into a big thing, or could have, or might, whatever. Anyway, let's just stop this silliness. Come in here. I'm just going to show you real quick. This isn't really anything. I'm fitting this booster, brake booster, and yeah, take a look at what I'm looking at. Okay, let's look. So I'm trying to fit this booster here in. As you can see, I've got my block off plate. I've actually used some strip caulk just to kind of hold it in place and also further seal it. Just make sure we've got a good seal on the firewall and nothing is going to leak in there. But it, you know, it occupies this space here. If you remember, right here was mounted a line lock, which, as you can see now, is right here. I was really struggling. I didn't want to have to move it, so I was trying to move the lines, but they just stuck out too far in this area. So what I ended up doing is just moving it down out of the way, closer to the firewall. Also, you won't see it. It won't be readily visible. And then, of course, these lines I moved out because the master cylinder is going to be out here. So that's what I've been doing, you know, just, well, modifying my cover there and then trying to figure out where. I just didn't want to drill any more holes in the car if I didn't have to, but it's fine. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's just, you know, I was trying to do it with minimal amount of modifications, but that'll work. The car will still have a line lock. It'll just be kind of out of sight down there, and then we'll, yeah, be able to mount everything up. So, see, it was bigger in my mind than, you know, as I was explaining it, I was like, well, that's not a big deal, I guess. Just felt like a big deal at the time because, you know, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to have to do it, and just ended up doing it. So it'll be, I think, better anyway. It'll be less visible under the hood, and ultimately, I think it will end up being better than where it was before. So, all right, I am going to hopefully fit this booster for the last time, get it attached to the pedal, and then I'm gonna have to call my wife down to the shop here. I've already warned her. Don't call your wife out of the blue. Hey, I need an extra set of hands. Just let her know, maybe the day before. I'm gonna be doing this. I might need, you know, because my arms can't reach around on both sides of the firewall to bolt this thing up. So if she can kind of hold it, I can get them started, zip them down, good to go. So anyway, that's that. Let's get back to actually doing the thing that we started off doing. That's great. Okay. So, I don't want every time you show up, you know, to check on my status here. I don't want every time that I'm telling you of a problem I'm having. But I can't help with this. This is how the story goes. I'm not the writer of the story. I'm just a character in it, so to speak. Anyway, walk over here and I'll just show you well, I'll tell you first, then I'll show you. So I pulled the transmission out of the car with all of the shifter linkage bolted onto it. When it was in the car, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, this is gonna fight me. And it fought me a little coming out, but it came out. It was fine. But with all of the new stuff on there, there's no way it's going back in that way. You've gotta line that up just right and slide it in, and having the shifter stuff on here is not going to work. So come over here and I'll show you what the problem is. So you can see, you know, I've got all the linkages unbolted. That's super easy. These two should, you know, loosen there, but on the bottom here, well, where's the flashlight? Let's take a peek. Your eyes are as bad as mine. You can see what kind of fastener that we have there. Well, it's not, well, come on, light. Where are you at? It's not turning. It's basically stripping itself out. I'm not sure why they used that fastener. It's not like there's a clearance issue, but they did. So that one is going to fight me. So we've got two issues then, not just one. The one is I cannot put the transmission in the car without taking that off. And two, since I have to take it off, I've got to figure out a way to get that out of there and then replace it with something that's not stripped out. So there you go. In a nutshell, that's what you've walked up on here. So I'm gonna keep working on that. That's what I'm gonna be working on, getting this off. Putting a transmission in a car is not that hard. Mainly, the hard part is just getting it to fit back up in there. In this case, I've got some clearance issues. So remember that 66 Impala SS, whatever, Super Sport that I did, replace the clutch on it. I had to do the same thing on that car. It just, it just won't fit. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to it, and hopefully when we turn the page, there'll be some good news. Okay, can we edit that out? I don't want to look like an idiot. We can? Okay. All right, cool. So we'll just start from here, like I just pulled it off. Okay, got it. Ready? All right. So what we did here is this transmission would not fit in the car with the shifter linkage on it. I didn't want to take it off because it just was another step, but ended up, it's just not going to go in. So it's really simple. There's actually, where's my hardware? There's just two bolts. There's this one here, and then there's this one here, and they just go right on there. You just zip them off. 3 nuts here, and then it just comes off real easy. So, you know, for those of you unfamiliar with how you might be confused by the fasteners that are kind of countersunk or inset in there. All they do is hold on this mounting plate here. They do not hold that on. So, you know, I'm glad that I could teach you something, because you didn't know that. That was something I clearly knew, and now I could just pass on my vast knowledge to you. Okay. How was that? Okay, good. Let's just move forward. Let's put this chapter behind us and slide this transmission up in the car, because that's what we're here for. All righty. All right, it fought me a little bit, but we got the transmission in. Still got to button this up. So what I ended up having to do, I had this transmission in and out a couple times because I couldn't get it to slide in. I could get the splines into the clutch, but then it just lining it up, it wasn't sliding in. So what I ended up doing is loosening the clutch with the transmission, you know, slid into the spline. So it basically kind of like your centering tool, but I was using the transmission instead. And then I just rotated the engine over, got all of these loose. I didn't take them out, I just loosened them all. And then that allowed the clutch, just that little bit of play, to be able to slide it in there. And then I went back around and torqued them all down afterwards. So I just have to hook up the linkage for the clutch, put the cover back on there. Everything is buttoned up on that side. I got to replace these bushings here. Well, it's up in the air. I'm going to do that. So, taking a deep breath, because it was, yes. Well, I just had to walk away a couple times because it wasn't cooperating with me. But, you know, it always does eventually. It's going to go in, or it's going to get put together. It just, sometimes you just have to give it time. Just give it time. So, all right, I'm going to jump on the rest of this stuff so we can get this car back on the ground. And once it's on the ground, I'll bleed the brakes one more time now that I have the master cylinder in there. Hopefully we can see if everything works the way it's supposed to. So, yeah, let me get to it. Okay, I have got updates on what I'm doing, because I don't know what else I would update you on about what I'm not doing. If you want an update on what I'm not doing, look at the blue car over there. There's your update. That's what I'm not doing. I need to get back to that. So let's just have a little story time here. First of all, transmission's up. I'm waiting on a little linkage clip that I need for the clutch linkage, and then that will be done. Fluids in the transmission. So basically, I'm really close to being done under the car here. But I've gotten the sway bar off. This is actually a little strange. It's like someone put whoop, camera guy, oh, there you are. Someone put a plate here. You can see the little countersunk screw heads. And I don't know what's going on. I don't understand it. It's like they wanted to relocate the mount this way. I don't know why. I've been trying to figure it out, whether it has to do with, you know, the measurement from here to here was different. You know, it's an old car, so I don't know. Anyway, it's there, and we'll see if we need to be using it going forward. But so I pulled it down. This is the old rubber bushing, and I bought their energy suspension bushings. So I'm telling you this story so you don't do what I did. Okay? Don't you love those stories? Don't do what I did. I did it with good intentions because I was trying to save money. I was trying to save the customer money, and you know, this is a good product. It is what it is. But it's not the quality that's the problem. So they even give you nice directions here on how to do it. So basically, I had to slide the other side down to here, which I did, and I used a combination of a torch and screwdriver and whatever to push the old bushing out. It just kind of fell out in hard chunks on the ground because it's worn out. Then they have you lubing this up, and as you can see, you know, this hole is smaller than that, but than this eyelet. But you can, if you lube this up and grease it, you can push it over the top of it to this smaller section where it has to sit for you to push this over top of it. In the directions it says, you know, take channel locks and squeeze it in on one side and then squeeze it in on the other side. Well, I'm telling you, okay, I gotta look at you for this. So, that you know, it sounds good. It sounds amazing. It's not practical. It's not even. So I'll show you. I got it in. Okay, doing roughly what they said. Didn't really work, but if you notice, oops, sorry. See these cracks? Getting it to slide in there, and of course this whole thing was down here in this narrow part, so the inner diameter could squeeze down while the outer diameter was squeezing in to get under here. I mean, it just ruined the bushing. It's ridiculous. So, and it took a long time to do that. It was not a short amount of time. So if you spend $30 for these bushings, and you know, 4 hours of labor total, or 3, whatever. And then you end up with a cracked bushing anyway, it's not really that good of a deal. So what I've done is they make a newer style that it has a bracket adapter, and then it has a style of bushing mount where you can put the bushing on, and then it's like, well, I'll show you. It's just like the rear. If I can see it. Oh yeah, these. It's just like these. So this is like basically just a U-shaped with 2 bolts on the side. This has a split in it, so you can fit it over top of this, and then you just put this on and bolt it down. So what they make is a bracket adapter, so you can ditch these old style Mopar mounts, and because you can see, if you look, the bolt holes are like here. Well, on the new style, I need bolt holes here. So the bracket uses these bolt holes, but then gives you a place to do that, if that makes sense. I'm sorry for the camera angle and all of that. I'm just getting a little passionate about this because it costs a little bit more, but it doesn't, because of the amount of time you will spend doing it and ruining it. Just get the new style, and they're greasable, they're better, so do that. So those, I'll have those in tomorrow. Also, I noticed that these end links are not the same. Okay, they're not the same. Like the length of these are the same, but these bolt sizes are not the same. That's big, that's little. And I'm gonna go ahead and replace these. I have it off. Again, these don't cost that much. I'm gonna just put new ones on there. We'll have the new style bushings. It's gonna be better, it's gonna work better. And more importantly, it takes way less time to do. So, yeah, that's what we'll do. Unfortunately, since those don't come in tomorrow, you're not going to see it happen. You might see it next week, but you're not going to see it this week because the week is over. Today, the week is over. Yeah, so I'm going to do some other things to wrap up the week. And then next week, I don't know if I've said this before, but if I haven't, I'm saying it now. Next week, we're for sure going to work on Mr.E because I've really got the headers to figure. That's really the first thing that's on my mind. I want to get those on the engine, get them on the car, get them fitting. So anyway, that's what we got. Just figured I'd update you. This is kind of an awkward. Why don't I just start working and then we'll pretend none of this happened. All right, just real quick. We've got the shifter back installed with the line lock button back on there. Pedals are tightened up. The clutch and brake are, doing clutch and brake things. I'm still waiting on one little clip for the clutch linkage, just to make sure the rod doesn't come off of where it's on. And I painted the front sway bar because, well, I can't, all the new hardware and mounts that I ordered and the new end links that I ordered, I can't put those on a nasty looking sway bar. So, I mean, when you have it out of the car, I'm just telling you this, when you got your own projects, if you've got a part out of the car, it just doesn't take very long to spritz it up with little paint and then put it together with the new hardware, and it's like, it feels like it's brand new then. And it basically is, because all of the functional parts are, well, I guess the bar is functional, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about, okay? I swear, I can't say anything anymore. It's just, okay. It's a long day. You just had to pardon my shortness. Okay. Yeah, so so what I'll finish up next week is well, really, basically all I have left is I've got to repair that slide there, and I'm waiting on the felt that goes inside of it. I'm waiting on that piece that clips on the window that slides in there, and the window stop. I'm waiting on those to come in. I just have to put the rubber seal in there, and when those parts come in, put that together, repair that, and then I can put this door back together, and we'll have all new seals. Got the door gasket on, we'll have new felt here, new window seal there, and we'll actually have a runner that the window's running up and down in, instead of what was happening, which was not good, whatever that thing is. And yeah, so next week, hopefully I get to take it out again and drive it, test the brakes, and the rear sway bar that I put in, and yeah, brake booster, suspension pieces, clutch, and all that. So we're making progress. And actually, next week, the title will actually reflect what's happening. Well, are you excited to see this thing finished? I know I am. Can you imagine if I had been doing the paint work? These last 4 weeks, basically you would have seen me covered in dust and angry. That's how much I dislike body work. I would have been angry and dusty. Instead, I'm mostly happy, only sometimes angry and greasy. So, I don't know. But I cannot wait to get the body back for this Mr. F. You know, Mr. F's what kicked off this whole YouTube nonsense for me, and but I'll tell you what, I say it, I don't know, maybe I say it every week, but it's really good for me to have you following me around the shop, seeing what I'm doing, and I don't know, I enjoy it. So come, stay, go, whatever you need to do, but I'm glad to have you around as much as you can be. I'm so excited. This Factory 5, has been a dream of mine since, well, I said it probably a few months ago, whatever. Yeah, since I was probably 18. And I'm not ashamed to tell you, I was 18 in 1991. I don't care. I'm as old as I am. Whatever, age is what age is. Doesn't really matter. Unless you're my brother, who's 9 years younger than me, and he likes to point that out. But I got him back when he turned 40, and I was only 49, but I was able to tell him, well, hey, we're both in our 40s. And that was a sweet, sweet day for me. But now I'm 50, so it doesn't really work, and he, you know, just asks me if I'm eating dinner at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I say no, but that sounds like a great idea. Anyway, we're devolving here, but yeah, stick around. This thing's going to get finished at some point whenever I get the body back, hopefully soon. And next week we'll be doing some more work on Mr.E. That's exciting. He's just an amazing car, and hopefully we'll pretty much button up the Roadrunner. So that'll be fun too. Anyway, take care. See you next week. And yeah, I hope you got something to work on, because these old cars, they need to be driven.